Ohayo. Ohayo. What's up, everyone? Hey, Zephyr. Zephyr, what's up? Hello, Hisashiburi desu. Hisashiburi desu. Long time no see. Hello. Oh no, don't look at my mess on my table. Don't. It's not there. It's not there. It's a bunch of ads from my mail. Konnichiwa. Hello, Wowza. Hello, Celtox. Ohayo. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Why do I always leave my ads on the table? Hi, messy table. Don't look at my messy table. Quit it. Ah. All right. There. The table's clean now. All right. Table's clean now. That's the one thing I always forget. Cause so what I do is I check all my settings before I turn stream on, and like I'll look at my camera and I'll see like this door's not closed, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll have to close this door, cause I'll check it on like the other things. So like this scene or this scene, and I can't really see the table here, but in full cam I have my camera like the wider angle is on, so I don't check. I'm like, crap. Hi, less messy table. Hi, less messy table. I'm actually being productive at work. Oh, all right, fine. Go be productive at work if you have to. But yeah, hopefully I'll make good background noise. I like being background noise sometimes too. Oh, hey Thomas, what's up? How's everyone doing this morning? Everyone doing well? Everyone doing well? How's everyone's studies doing? Studies? Everyone just kind of chilling? Life and studies both good. It's almost dinner time. Ooh, I just woke up. What are you having for dinner? Having some tasty stuff for dinner? I've been making more food for myself. I'm gonna I have to do another cooking stream soon, because I made more curry and I bought udon so I can like cook it instead of just buying frozen udon. Which, who knows if that's going to be better. I feel like maybe frozen udon might be easier, but we'll see how the cooked udon goes. Me actually having to make it from just the dry noodles, right? I actually did my reviews earlier today. Nice. Nice. Feels good. Work and dinner? Meanwhile, me in bed because it's 2 a.m. Yeah. That's the only thing, Zephyr, is like this new streaming schedule that I have. It ends up kind of late for a lot of people who used to be like really all the time coming. Regulars, that's the word. Who used to come all the time. It's a bit of a bummer, but I can't wake up any earlier anymore. So I'm glad you're able to stop in. And I mean, thankfully we still have VODs on YouTube. It's not exactly the same sometimes, but you know, at least it's there, it exists, which I'm happy about. Some chicken thighs I've been marinating. Ooh, yum. I like chicken thighs that are marinated in whatever type of sauce. English muzui. Muzui. I love the word muzui because it's muzukashi, except it's not, and it's way easier to say. I know I miss streams. I'm always asleep, so coming to say hi for at least a bit. Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, with the stream time changes, that's just kind of how it happens sometimes, right? So, yeah, that's okay. But yeah, I'm glad you stopped in, said hi. It's nice to see you in here again. So, yeah. Soy sauce and meating and more. Ooh. Soy sauce and meating. Meating is that vinegar, right? I think. Or is it? No, it's wine. Is it like a sake kind of thing? I don't remember. I know meating is meating. That's all I got. I think it's... Oh, is it sake? Is it a type of sake? It's like cooking sake, right? I don't know. I forget. I never remember. But all right, let's hop into our studies. I think it's about time. I think. Oh no, I guess you could have still seen the mess on the table. I think, just barely. Oh well. That be my life. All right, what do we got today? It looks like we got an improperly spaced browser. Here we are. So I'm working. I don't know if you guys know, but I have a widescreen monitor. I think I've showed you before. But I have a widescreen monitor. So like, it's all on one monitor right now. But I have like the 1080 by 1920 area of this screen, and then I have like the stream chat sticking right out from under it on the like what's left of the space. It works pretty well. So, all right, let's study. All right. 今はオンラインプログラミングを教えている。
今はオンラインでプログラミングを教えてる。
I added it all in there.
今はオンラインでプログラミングを教えてる。
オンラインで。私は毎年、両親と温泉旅行に行っています。
私は毎年両親と温泉旅行に行っています。
なんだと？もう一回見てみろ。
なんだと？もう一回言ってみろ。
なんだと？もう一回言ってみろ。
You need some emotion in this line. If you don't have emotion in this line, it's ダメ。You can't. It's just not. You have to. この子本当にこの子本当男目見る目ないんですよ。
この子本当男見る目ないんですよ。
この子本当男見る目ないんですよ。
この子
この子本当男見る目ないんですよ。
この子本当。I like to try to match the pronunciation like super perfect as perfect as I can get it sometimes.
この子本当男見る目ないんですよ。
この子本当男見る目ないんですよ。男見る目。
この子本当男見る目ないんですよ。
男見る目。
この子本当男見る目ないんですよ。
この子本当男見る目ないんですよ。I think. I'm like, if people, all right, I'm trying to listen for pitch accent. If you didn't know that, you might just think I'm just trying to be a dolphin. But I'm trying to listen for the pitch accent. When's it going up and when's it going down? I just did those in my reviews. Hey, yeah, Thomas, you're phase 2, right? You're like the same lesson basically, or are you a little bit further? Are you caught up fully?
クッキー作ったから明日学校で渡すね。
クッキー作ったから明日学校で渡すね。
かわいい。お母さん曲がるストローって言わなかった？
お母さん曲がるストローって言わなかった？
曲がるストロー。
お母さん曲がるストローって言わなかった？
曲がるストロー。Yeah, I need to do more listening practice, I think. Because what I've been noticing, especially like when I'm doing laid back Japanese, like I try to make my pronunciation as good as I can possibly get it, especially like it's going to be on a podcast. We're going to record it. Like we can't replace it. Like once an episode's out, it's out, right? I can't just like clip random stuff to make it better. Like once it's out, we just keep it out. You're caught up? Oh, nice. But like I'm always like I've been getting more and more paranoid recently about my pronunciation and like trying to make it really good. And it's like on one hand, of course, yeah, I'm not a native, so we can't expect perfect pronunciation out of me. But also, I feel like I owe it to everyone listening to have literally almost as perfect as possible. And then like, so I've been really paying attention to pronunciation recently, and I think it's probably time for me to finally start doing shadow loops really consistently now, or something to help improve that, you know? Because all I do, I expect perfect pronunciation from Thai. See, I knew it. Because how I learned Japanese, like most of my exposure is video games, so most of my exposure is just reading, right? So I don't have perfect speaking, and like speaking was my most struggled with portion for a very long time. Now I feel okay with it the vast majority of the time, but I still get caught up on things that I can't express. Like there's still things that I'm like, I don't express this normally. So like if I have a new experience, sometimes I'm lost on how the heck do I say this, right? Like there was this one time where a taxi driver came to pick me up. They stopped way too early, and then I started walking towards them, and then they realized they stopped too early, so they started going to where I used to be. They didn't notice that I was walking towards them, and then as they drove by me, I was like, and then they noticed me. They like slammed on the brakes, opened the door into a sign post. And I got in and I was just like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, what's up? But so he opened the door into a signpost. I don't know if it was dented. I didn't check because I'm like, did this actually just happen? Did that happen? Wow. But I was trying to explain that to a friend in Japanese, and while I could do it and it made them understand, it's a great story, isn't it? A great story. I love that. It was so funny because I'm like, wait, did that really just happen? But like when I was explaining that story, I could explain that story, and by the end of me trying to explain it, they understood what I was saying. But it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't perfect, and I was sad that it wasn't that. So that's why I'm like constantly like, I need to improve my own Japanese for both myself and for everyone who like has content, who listens to any content that I make, whether it's the streams or whether it's laid back Japanese. Streams are more casual. I mean, I expect anyone to make more mistakes on a stream, right? But like, I just want to be so much better. I try to perfect my speech because when I go to Japan, I want to try to sound right. Yeah, I feel that. I can't say don't try that because I literally just told you that I'm trying to do that. But if it's something, so I think something really important if for anyone listening is that while it's really fun to try to perfect your speech and it's like a really great goal, it's really difficult to do, right? It's just going to take a very long time. So don't get discouraged if you feel like there's slow progress or something like that, you know? And don't expect to be literally perfect. It's just kind of, you're not a native. It's just kind of not how it's going to happen, right? But yeah, definitely try if you want to, for sure. And sometimes I think if you focus too much time, it depends on how much time you focus. If you focus too much time on perfecting your speech, then sometimes you won't really learn. You'll spend too much time not studying something else, right? Like reading or writing or just general production, not a non-perfect production. And it's okay to make mistakes. Obviously, you're a learner, and no one expects you to be perfect. So you can have those standards for yourself, but also have that realization that, like, if you're like me, like, I expect myself to be extremely, like, so much better than I am right now. But when I speak to a random Japanese person, like, I was buying a kebab, right? I was buying a kebab the other day, and the guy who sold me the kebab was like, "Nihongo no sensei desu ka?" I'm like, are you? Well, technically, yeah, I guess so. I guess I am. But like, I just had a couple, like, we shared a couple of sentences. He asked me, "Oh, what sauce did you want again?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that one," and blah 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 blah. So like, we talked briefly, like enough past like hello and thanks, right? And he's like, "Are you a Japanese teacher?" I'm like, that made me feel good. So it's like, Japanese people, they're impressed. They're impressed if you could speak any amount of Japanese. Kebab is great. I love kebab. Hey, I'm deep. But yeah, Japanese people, like, they're impressed that you could speak any Japanese. They're happy that you're trying. So it's good. You'll be fine no matter what level you are. But what sauce did I get? I got Sao-san. Sao-san. I got Sao-san sauce. Sao-san sauce? Eh? Nandakke? Was it a Sa or a Sun? I think Sao-san. Sao-san sauce. Karakuchi or Geki Kara? Eh? Neither. どっちもしてないよ。それ。It wasn't karakuchi. It was like kind of nandakke? Shokkarai? Shiokarai? Shokkarai? Salty? It was salty sauce. It was Thousand Island sauce. Thousand Island sauce. Unlike us ungrateful Americans, we expect everyone to speak fluent English. Shaking my head. Yeah, it's definitely different. It's definitely different over here. Yeah. Like, I've noticed, like, the average, from my experience, from my experience, so this is personal experience, most people will be like, oh, well, if you're in America, you should speak English, which is a funny statement to say because there's no official language of America. But in Japan, I've noticed many Japanese people will feel guilty that their English isn't better when they're speaking to a foreigner. And not that, oh, you're in Japan, you should speak Japanese. I'm sure from both sides there are obviously people from that think the opposite. Like obviously they're from both sides. There's people that think the opposite. But I have noticed there is a tendency for Japanese people to be sad that they can't speak English versus Americans will be angry that they can't speak English, that like the other person can't speak English. So it's an interesting difference that I've noticed. Yeah. It's definitely an interesting cultural difference. I don't know what to make of it. I think I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why it happened that way. I think it's probably just like the general individualistic mindset versus whatever the opposite of individualistic is. I forget all the time. What's the opposite of individualistic again? It's like CO, but it's not like communalistic. Ah, I forget. Whatever.
知らない？黒人ラッパーが CM やってるやつ。
知らない？黒人ラッパ
I
ー
can never
が
remember.
CM やってるやつ。
I could probably just Google it if I wanted to. But I feel like that's getting really off topic. Though, I don't know. Do we have a
頭に来
topic
た
right
ので
now?
料理が来る前に帰りました。
頭に来たので。
頭に来たので料理が来る前に帰りました。
I love this tea. This grapefruit green tea is so good.
自分が社会のゴミだってこと分かってる？
自分が社会のゴミだってこと分かってる？
No mercy on the words here. More tea. I need more tea. I don't know. I guess as a ah! 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 I spilled tea on my computer. And then I dropped my chapstick when I was trying to clean it up. Spilled tea. Yo, it was it was on the tower and it was like dripping down and I'm like, yeah, there's a light under where it's dripping to, so I should probably fix this before something bad happens. But it didn't go into any slots or anything, so we're good. The computer has not yet exploded. Hey, oha konnichiwa, Irslea, what's up? Hello. But yeah, I guess my final thoughts on it, the differences is like, I was going to say my final thoughts and then I spilled tea on my computer. So I don't remember what I was going to say anymore, actually. I was going to say something important. Just in time for Ty to break more electronics. Yeah, it was perfect timing. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, man. But yeah, I don't know. Like, people are people no matter where you go. So like, obviously you're going to find people who think differently from maybe what's generally everyone else is thinking in that specific culture that they're in. But yeah, cultures, I guess they have tendencies, but people are always going to be people. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like when, like, I'll see these like titles on YouTube. I'll see these video titles and it's like how to date Japanese girls. And I see those titles and I just cringe. I just cringe so hard. It hurts. It hurts me because what does that mean, right? It's like saying how to date girls, right? It's like, yeah, okay, so maybe they're going to have some cultural differences and some different expectations. So you just have to talk about those and figure out what those are and then not get mad at each other when you're accidentally rude, because you're going to be accidentally rude, right? To each other without realizing it, because the cultural expectations are just different, right? If I'm an American, I'm dating a Japanese girl, it's going to be like, we're going to expect some things from each other that we don't know that the other person is expecting. Or wait. They're going to expect things that we don't know that they're expecting, etc., right? And that's just how it is, but that's okay, right? Like, I don't think I don't know. But the amount, I feel like, yeah, maybe a video on something like that isn't bad, but it makes me feel weird because I feel like, I don't know. Does anyone else understand? I probably could be more eloquent with my words at this point, but it makes me feel weird. I don't know. It's just like people are people, so just how to date a person, right? That's how I feel.
なるみまた怪我して帰ってきたよ。
なるみまた怪我して帰ってきたよ
I feel like I understand what you're getting at. It's a little funny. Yeah, it's a little like I get why the question is asked because like people can't speak the language. Like people who look that up might not be able to speak the language. So and maybe they're thinking about their life in Japan and it's like, okay, well, will I even be successful in getting a partner? Right? So like I get why it gets looked up and like obviously it's the internet, right? But like I don't know, it's just how do you date a person, right? You just find someone who you like and someone who likes you and then you just like chill, right? You just chill and have a fun time. And then you figure out those differences. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like the end of it all is just like, can you have good communication with that person? If you can, then I feel like it's probably fine, right? Like even if you step on each other by accident, then if you are like, oh, I didn't know that, and now that I do know that, I'll work hard not to do that, or let's talk about what we want now that we both know that this thing is a thing. Let's talk about it and figure it out, right? Yeah. 国籍が関係ない. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I feel like maybe there's some slight 関係, like relationship with that, but like I don't think it's nearly the amount that the internet makes it think. And just kind of like the internet being the internet with Japan in general sometimes, you know. Step on each other's toes by accident, not step on each other. Step on each other's toes. Yeah, I guess it is toes, huh? Yeah. English is hard. But yeah, I agree. There's really not too much of a difference in like where they're from, right? Their kokuseki, their citizenship, right? It's just like a person is a person. So you're gonna find, I guess, to completely defeat what I was saying, but also add to the point, you're gonna find American like Japanese people, and you're gonna find Japanese like American people, right? So whatever country, you're gonna find people who might vibe with another culture more, right? But it's just people. People are people, and people are extremely different all the time, no matter where they're from. 人と人のつながりが一番大切だね. Yeah, I agree. It's just like whatever your relationship with your bonds with them are. It's not where they're from. Like, can you date someone from somewhere? Yeah, you can date someone from somewhere. All right. Good talk.
オカピって馬じゃなくてキリンの仲間なんですってよ。
オカピって馬じゃなくてキリンの仲間なんですってよ
Okapi.
こういう時は
I've never thought about.
Google マップ
こういう
I forgot.
時は Google マップ
I forgot. I was gonna say, wow, I've never heard so much about Okapi before, and then I remember this conversation.
こういう時は Google マップ
こういう時は Google マップ. I love that sentence. I love that voice actor. All right, let's go. Tater. We learned about Tater yesterday too. So this is a changed state.
この時計止まってるよね。
So this clock is stopped, right? Yeah, isn't moving.
社会の窓開いてるよ
Shakai no Mado. I love That's my first time hearing this. You're
社会の窓開いてるよ
Yo, who else knew that? Shakai no Mado.
社会の窓開いてるよ
Shakai no Mado. What have I walked in on? We're talking about... Hi, Miles. You have walked in on us talking about the window to society. So, and how it's open.
社会の窓開いてるよ
Shakai no
社
Mado.
会の窓開いてるよ
Shakai no Mado は開いてるよ。Shakai no Mado は開いてるよ。 I love this. I love this sentence with all of my heart. Shakai no mado. I had no idea. What was it? Yeah, it's like, what do they normally call zipper? Like your zipper. It's just like a... That's your fly, is shakai no mado. But... Wait, what do you call a zipper normally? What's just a zipper? Fastener. Ah, chakku. Ah, okay. Yeah, fastener and chuck. Check. Chakku and fastener are zippers. Okay, and then shakai no mado is the fly. Okay. Hey, Mileage, how you doing? How's your studies going? How's life going? You don't have to tell me about your life, but I'd like to hear at least about your studies.
今お母さんたち旅行行ってていないからうち来る？
Ooh, snap.
今お母さんたち旅行行ってていないからうち来る。
It's like every anime girl, all of her parents are always on a vacation, right? Or always on a trip, right? Every high school anime character, actually just character in general, not even girl. Every high school anime character, their parents are always on a trip, so they live like
今お母さん
alone.
たち旅行行ってていないからうち来る。
Decent overall. That's good. That's good. Decent. Decent's not bad. Decent. Stuff's happening. Decent is good. As long as it's not bad, right? And if it's bad, we can talk about it. It's all good. Achi. Atsui. このグレープフルーツの緑茶のやつ。グリーンティーって言ったっけ？なんだっけ？ Yeah, they don't say dokcha here. They say grapefruit green tea. Grapefruit green tea. Oh, someone reminded me to put this in photos so people can see like instructions and stuff. I'll put it here. I'll put it in an obnoxious area so I don't forget. That's how I remember things actually. I make it so I can't not interact with it. Like if I'm doing laundry, I put my laundry basket, spill the tea. I already did. I'm glad I could finally tune in. Yeah, nice to see you, Kenji. Hell yeah. But that's how, all right. So like if I'm doing laundry, guys, if I'm doing laundry, this is completely unrelated. I'm doing laundry. I have to put the laundry basket, like when I stand up, I'm going to trip over it unless I notice it. And then I remember that I'm actually doing laundry. Otherwise, I will forget that there's laundry. And then like 8 hours later, I'm like, oh no. And then like sometimes I will even have to like wash it again. Not too often, but like 5 hours later, I'll just be like, oh, there's still laundry in the thing. What have I done? Remind Ty, put photo of the tea in photos. Yes. Thank you. All right. Back to actually learning. So I'm very good at doing laundry and drying it. Very, very bad at actually folding and putting it away. Yo, all right. So yeah, I don't do laundry very well. Once it's drying, like I get it hanging up, it's whatever. Good morning, sunshine. Yeah, it is morning over here. Oh, ohayou gozaimasu. Lumi. Nice to see you too. But yeah, okay. So like I do laundry and then I dry it and that's okay. But folding it, this is what you do. You just don't fold it. I've actually not folded laundry in so long. I fold my pants, my like jeans, and then like my shorts. I'll fold them and put them away. Everything else, my shirts are always hanging up. And then like my underwear and like my socks, I just like have them in this one bin, this one like dresser thing. And I just throw them in. And then like my towels and stuff. Who cares about folding towels? I just have them in a bin. I just throw them in the bin. Who cares? Who cares? But they're smaller towels. So like the bigger towels, like it'll be tougher to do, I guess. It's more, it takes up more space if you're not careful with them. Get them in the morning, get clothes from the basket of clean laundry in the laundry. Yes. Working from home makes it too easy. I'm saying I'm an expert at putting laundry in the washing machine. Are you an expert of getting laundry out of the washing machine after it's been in the washing machine though? All right. Viteiru. We'll go through this sentence. We'll go through this
あの
sentence.
赤いハイヒールを履いている黒人女性は誰ですか？
There it is. That is we're describing a noun. Oh, okay, yeah. 履いている so wearing yeah okay and then
あの赤いハイヒールを履いた黒人女性は誰ですか？
履いた oh yeah you can do yeah with past tense too it's kind of the same thing I think it's yeah the exact same translation too right yeah so yep no difference in the meaning or nuance hey there we go all right I think that's everything right we did everything yeah all right 似る so resemble 独 like 孤独の孤独の子かな独孤独 right this is 孤独の独 right or is it 孤独 okay it's 独 part yeah 独身 yeah 独身の独賞 prize 賞商品no 商品じゃなくて商品 is not that right yeah no oh yeah wait no you can also say 商品 it's the same all right prize money because when I first said 商品 I was thinking of like goods oh whoops 商品 like goods merchandise all right so yeah, it's the same reading there you go surprise surprise Yudis this is a great game if you're playing Apex Legends and you're like Yudishite you're like trying to heal and you're hoping that the enemy team isn't pushing you so just let me heal Yudishite right so that's cool if you're dying in Apex Legends and you're hoping that they don't push you Yudishite moeru all right there we go I want to actually do more so what I've been playing a lot of is Apex Legends recently I actually want to kind of stream it on Native Shark I think or my personal stream I'm not sure I haven't done anything with my personal stream in a minute because I've been too busy but now that life's starting to calm down I might stream more on my personal stream and maybe we'll do Apex over there I'm not sure but I do want to do Apex and try to make Japanese friends with it in it because that just sounds really fun and it's great speaking practice great listening practice and if you want to try it go play on the Japanese servers and just try to talk to people it's actually like really great I've done it a little bit before and it's like it's a little nerve-wracking though because not only are you talking with strangers in a language you don't understand and then you're like they're gonna give you some slang or whatever some net or some game language that you're not gonna pick up but hey that's okay that's part of the fun
何よ急にかしこまっちゃって。
何よ急にかしこまっちゃって。
かしこまる alright maybe I knew this one maybe I didn't I don't know かしこまるかしこまっちゃって so okay so recently y'all I've been learning Hakata Ben I've been like trying to get my friend to teach me a little bit more Hakata Ben so I'm trying to speak in Hakata Ben all the time and they're replying in Hakata Ben and I said something that was with this chau right not te form of chau but like kashikomatchau right so to accidentally do something and I said something with that and then they were like I just realized how hyojun-poi that chau ending is so you say shimao te shimao if you're speaking in at least Hakata Ben apparently so that's cool that's a nice little tidbit that I don't know if anyone will get any use from but I really found pretty cool so daso desu that's apparently or dashi desu maybe that's how it is so yeah that's cool I can look at the correction I forget what I was saying I'll have to look it up later I'm pregnant oh snap I'm pregnant your friend asks do you want your baby to look more like you or your husband oh I have a husband too oh man
どうだろう。顔は私に似てほしいかな。
どうだろう。顔は私に似てほしいかな。
all right there it is 私に yeah so
どうだろう。顔は私に似てほしいかな。
I think the female voice would be a little more accurate on this one but there we go all right an example all right
パナマは2つの海に面する国である。
there it is
パナマは2つの海に面する国である。
Panama. Panama is really close to Costa Rica, right? I've been to Costa Rica. Costa Rica is pretty cool. I like Costa Rica. Ty gets deep on confession time stream. Yeah, it's true. Guys, I have a secret to tell you. I'm pregnant. And I have a husband. This whole time. You're a new patient at an ENT?
時々口から変な白い玉が出てくる。
時々口から変な白い玉が出てくる。
Yo, what? The music too. Yo, I'm not even gonna think about that sentence. I might archive that sentence. That is Monka S right there. That is some Monka S. You're at an izakaya. I like this sentence more.
靴下穴開いてる。
うわ、靴下穴開いてる。
Yo, I bought more socks recently because I had a bunch of holes in my old ones and I just kept throwing them out and then I realized like I was running low on socks. You're a hairstylist. All right, cool.
頭持ち上げますね。
頭持ち上げますね。
I'm a pregnant hairstylist with a husband. That's what I am right now. 頭持ち上げますね. Yo, the one time I ever got a haircut in Japan, it was a fantastic experience. So, the first thing that they'll tell you, and Jacob has also gotten a couple haircuts too here. And like if it's a new hairstylist, the first thing that they'll always tell you, wow, foreigner hair is really different from Japanese hair. So yeah, I guess so.
単語どうやって勉強してる？
単語をどうやって勉強してる？
How do you study vocabulary? Play a lot of video games.
さっきからコソコソ何見てんの？
さっきからこそこそ何見てんの？
Koso koso. I love koso koso. I love koso koso. It's such a good word. Koso koso. Koso koso. If someone's trying to sneak by. You can be koso koso in Apex Legends if you're ratting. If you're ring ratting. And you're trying not to die. You're like the last one in your squad alive. There's like a bunch of squads everywhere. You're just trying to get more ranked points. You just rat. You just koso koso suru. かしこまって。
何よ、急にかしこまっちゃって。
何よ、
I have to remember
急に
this
かしこ
word.
まっちゃって。
It's like I know this word, but I don't know this word. You know what I mean? Like you know this you've heard words before and you know you can like read them. Like I know I can read kashikomaru, but like if you asked me to use this word, I would be like, yeah, no. I don't know how to use that word. So like it's this kind of words that I'm really happy when I see them in Native Shark, because then we get them with context and all that. So
パナマは2つの海に面する国である。
パナマは2つの海に面する国である。
国である. Random fact, 物の哀れ means the poignancy and sadness of transient things. Yo, I actually love the word aware. It's actually like, it just sounds cool. It sounds like ancient. You know what I mean? Mono no aware. Oh, wow. So it's an expression that even in English, they, pathos of things, appreciation of the fleeting nature of beauty. I feel like this is really like a Buddhist term or something. Is this a Buddhist term? Usually it says it's a Buddhist term though. So it's probably, maybe it's something based a little bit in Buddhism. That is a nice random fact, and I appreciate you sharing that, Kenji. I know the feeling. That's like 99% of the Japanese language for me. Yo, I promise it'll go down as you practice and get more exposure. Because yeah, that was the same for me. That was me the first like 3-4 years of my study. Maybe, yeah, 4, maybe leaning towards 4. Because I remember I passed N1 and I still couldn't speak like at all, basically. You can ask Chia and Caleb. Like they would speak to me in Japanese. I literally had passed N1. And like Chia still couldn't tell me the most basic things. It, like, if I like was at their house and she was like, "Ah, kore naoshite," I was like, "Huh? Fix what?" And it just means put away. Oh, something else. My friend who was watching the stream, they texted me, and when I was explaining kore naoshite, to people, apparently that's like a Western Japanese thing. So that's actually kind of cool. It's a Western Japanese, like, so when you say naosu, to put away something, right? So if my this is my absolutely lovely Game Boy, right? So my Game Boy, if my Game Boy is out over here, it's kind of making a mess over here, right? My Game Boy. So I could tell my friend if they were just playing on my Game Boy. Ah, これあれ直して or それ直して So put it back. Put it away. Back to where it belongs. Right in camera view. That's where it belongs. Right there. But apparently that's only for Western Japan. Like the western half of Japan. And that's so like eastern half, like Tokyo, they might not use that. So I've heard. So I've been told. Rashi desu. Just about time to make dinner. It was fun tuning in. Alright, yeah, I'll see you. じゃあね。お疲れ様です。頑張ってください。Don't forget about the T photo. ありがとうございます。I will make an effort to not forget about the T photo. I have it right there. It's obnoxious. So, because now everything's kind of clean. Like I rearranged my bookshelf. I have new stuff. It's cool. My fan, I have that Buddhist fan that I got in Kyoto a while ago. I have that there. My shelf is a little bit better. I would show you guys a little bit more, but my camera will definitely freeze if I pick it up. So until I get a new camera, I'm not really trying to bring you around. I'm sorry. But all right, so yo, I need to pass N2 for work, so tell us your secret. So N2, when I passed N2, I think I was at 2.5 years into my studies, and I did a bunch of vocab, and I played a bunch of video games, and I read Nihongo Shark lessons, so NS lessons. Do I play a Sheikah Slate in the background? You do indeed spy a Sheikah Slate in the background. Nihongo de wa Sheikah Stone. Yeah, it's my Switch case. So, yeah, I love this thing. This was the special edition of Breath of the Wild case. It came with that. So on release date, I got this Breath of the Wild special edition. I got my Switch, and then I went to school and college. I went to college and wasn't allowed to play it. I didn't focus very well that day, and I played on lunch. Oh, it was such a beautiful experience. Good memories. 2.5 years, that's insane. Well, arigatou gozaimasu. I don't know. Like, with N2, I literally just played video games. I read Nihongo Shark lessons, so like a previous version of Nato Shark. So Nato Shark lessons. And then I just played a bunch of video games and then made vocabulary flashcards out of those video games. That's like literally all I did. I actually didn't specifically study for N2. So if you're asking me specifics, I can't give you any. I literally just played video games and read NS. And then I got N2. So with N1, I had to do focus studies. I tried to do the same approach of N2 with N1, and it failed me miserably. But with N2, I just kind of played video games and read NS. Play a bunch of video games. Yes! Play a bunch of video games. Ty's advice for passing N2, just play video games. Literally, though. Literally. If you want to do it how I did it, literally just play video games. Like, okay, so I played... What I was doing the whole time. This is how I passed N2. This is how I passed N2. The stream we're on, NS, and this piece of technology right here. This is how I passed N2. Right? So I just like made flashcards out of vocab that I found here, and then I read grammar up to whatever level. I think I read all grammar at that point. I think I read N1 grammar lessons too from NS as well. Because it doesn't hurt to overkill. Like, I don't think there's literally no reason why you should only study for a specific category. Like, you should just study Japanese, and when you know Japanese, you'll pass stuff, right? N1, you kind of have to study specifically because you either have to study specifically or you have to read newspapers and break down the grammar in newspapers. But every other level, you just learn Japanese and you'll be able to pass it, right? Like, N2 is the precipice of, like, if you can learn Japanese, then you can pass it, right? But N1, you need specific kind of like weird language. So basically just read newspapers and look up grammar you don't know. But here's the thing. And this is something that I learned the hard way, is when you are learning, grammar is really hard to detect if you don't know it. vocabulary is really easy to detect if you don't know it. So this is why so often, especially as a beginner, we are like, oh, I know every word in this sentence. I don't know what it means, right? That's because you don't know the grammar. If you don't know the grammar, you don't know how stuff is tied together and how it's connected. How it's tied. I'm tied. Okay. You don't know how it's tied together. So you're just like, oh, I'm lost, right? So that's why having core studies, native shark, Nihongo shark, back then, is good. So this is why we need those core studies, and this is why, like, I'm really happy to have all this new stuff coming out in native shark. That's so much of an improvement versus Nihongo shark. So if you do core studies and then you just do something you enjoy, you're going to get N2 in some amount of time, depending on how much time you put in per day and what that thing is you might be doing. But like, yeah, once you hit N1, I guess you need specific stuff. With a native shark, you're going to be able to hit N1, no problem. Once you hit like I feel like phase 3, maybe like near the end of phase 3, I feel like it's probably N1 level-ish. Because it's not 100% tied. We don't really tie our stuff to JLPT levels because JLPT levels are not a good indicator of fluency. As someone who was N1, who is N1, and was not fluent when I passed N1. So, got it, video games. This is exactly my experience I've recently noticed. Thank you for voicing. Yes, yeah, I'm happy to hear that you agree. So, but yeah, really, it's just like, do your core studies and then do something you enjoy. And we were actually talking about this in the beginner book club in the Discord, nativeshark.com/community. We were talking about this in the beginner book club channel because we just opened an intermediate book club too. So go check that out. We're going to be reading Kino no Tabi, and in the beginner book club, we're switching to Yotsubato. So that's actually going to be really fun. So please come join us. It'll be really great. So do something you enjoy. Do something you enjoy and do your core studies, and you're on your way, right? Don't worry about if you're ahead or behind, because that's just stressful and that's going to make you burn out, and who cares about that? When I started learning, I literally, this was what I thought to myself is, I'm going to show up and one day I'll be nuts at Japanese. That's what I thought to myself. That's all I thought to myself. One day it'll happen, right? And what is it happening? I don't know. I don't know what that meant. I maybe still don't know what that means. Maybe I'm there, maybe I'm not. But what I do know is that I absolutely still love learning Japanese, and I loved it from the day I started it. And every day I showed up, almost every day I showed up, I had a lot of fun. Some days were really stressful and I was just super tired, so I just spammed through smiley face and then didn't care. But yeah. Work was killing me when book club started, so I sat out. Keen to pick it up with Yotsubato. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped about it. Yeah. Yotsubato, I've never read Yotsubato, and I've heard it's a good beginner book, but I've also heard it's not a good beginner book, so I'm really excited to see for myself. Because there's a lot of, like, dialect stuff. So, like, dialect stuff is a little weird, but what I'm really excited about is the fact that, since we'll be reading it as a community, we will be able to understand the dialect stuff together, right? I love your laid-back yet effective approach to learning. I think, yeah, thank you. I think that's like, you have to be laid back about it. If you're stressed about it, you're not going to want to do it, right? So why, like, maybe sometimes easier said than done. Just don't stress, bro. Oh, thanks, I'm cured. But I think part of that is very well, I think it's very true. You shouldn't stress about it. But like, okay, so you shouldn't stress about it. And like, I think understanding why you shouldn't stress about it makes you be able to not stress about it. Right. Oh, you're Seishiro from Discord. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was about to ask last night, and then I like went to bed. I fell asleep. I'm like, what's your Twitch name? Okay, I will remember that. Thank you, Seishiro. But yeah, do you think I should try to take N2 in December or wait 6 months and go for the N1? I'm no rush since chilling in high school, but N2 certificate would be nice. Yeah, bro, N2 in high school. Okay, I think you should take N2, honestly. I think N2 is a good baseline. If you're not specifically studying for N1, you might get slapped. Personal experience. When I took the... All right, so I did N2. I passed it 2.5 years. And then, like, I didn't specifically study. I just played video games. I read NS. And I passed N2. Not really much of a problem there. I passed with, like, a little bit above the minimum. Like, I don't remember the amount of points I had. I think it was, like, something like 90 to pass. And I got 100, maybe 110 something. 110? 115? I don't remember. I'd have to look at it again. But I got, like, somewhat above the margin. But in the max points was 180. So I definitely did not nail it, for sure. And I tried to take the N1 a year later. I did terrible. I did so bad. I did, like... I think I scored maybe, like, 30 to 50 points on it. Like, I got wrecked. So with that being said, that's when I crunched down, studied hardcore for 6 months, and then I passed it. Guess how many points I passed it by? I passed it by literally 0 points. Cheers, gotta go. All right, I'll see you. Smilla Vanilla, I like that name. All right, see you. Let's go some of this. But yeah, I passed it by literally no point margin. The amount of points you need to pass the N1 is 100 points out of 180. And I got 100 points out of 180. There was literally no more wrong questions I could have answered. And I studied my butt off for it. So I think you should do N2 because N2 is a huge achievement. And it feels really good to have N2. And then you can work on N1 from there. I feel like that's what I did. I didn't take N5 to N3. Because I feel like N2 is the one where like companies start to notice you, right? So like the fact that you'd have N2 so early on is really cool. I think I would have also gotten destroyed since I learned exclusively from VNs. Yeah, I feel like if you're learning exclusively from VNs, you can do N2 and be fine. But for N1, you need to learn from newspapers for N1. Like that's just, you need to read grammar resources and you need to learn from newspapers. And that's how you get N1. So right now, sadly, we don't have that on Native Shark yet. So once we have phase 3 out, I'm pretty sure that's about when you'll be able to go through N1 without too much of an issue. But when I studied for N1 and passed N1, I used what lessons were available on Nihongo Shark. So those were my primary. And then I did read an advanced dictionary of Japanese grammar and an intermediate dictionary of Japanese grammar. It's talked about a lot in the community, those 2 books. So I read both of those books. I did 10 pages a day, every day. So I read literally like 1,200 pages a day, or 1,200 pages total or something like that. Because those are chonkin' books. Like they're like that thick. It's crazy. So I read those up 10 pages a day until I took the N1 the next time. Newspapers are very, very boring. Yeah, I agree. That's why I never really liked using them for studying. But if you're going to pass N1, then a resource that uses language of newspapers is extremely useful. Like extremely useful. They're boring. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. Well, I did kind of enjoy it because it was nice to kind of figure out what the heck they were trying to tell me. So it was a nice challenge, but wasn't it an exciting challenge? No, it wasn't like video games, I'll tell you that much. There's a reason I always played video games, because video games kept my attention. Newspapers don't keep my attention. I don't read newspapers in English, right? That's another thing, is if you're looking for a native material to do, what do you do in English? What do you do? Don't start something new. Do you play video games? Then play video games. Do you read books? Then read books. Do you read manga? Do you read comics? Then read manga, right? What do you do in English? What are you already doing? Just do that in Japanese, you know? So that's how I feel about it. But yeah, I'd say go for N2. Go for N2. You should be able to pass N2 without really too much of a struggle, depending. Like, I don't know your exact level, so I can't say that for actually a fact. But if you're playing without specific studying for a JLPT test, N2 is about the limit where you can get, and from my personal experience. And N1, you do need specific study for N1. That's my personal experience. So you either need specific study for N1, or you need to be able to read, like, go test yourself, go read like 10 random newspaper articles, and if none of them are difficult for you, then you might be fine for N1. If there's anything that trips you up, especially if it's consistent, you're not ready for N1, I don't think. So I'd say go do that and see for yourself what you think. Go read like 10 newspaper articles, go on NHK and just pick 10 random articles. Pick the most difficult ones too, right? If we're assessing ourselves, I'd rather assess ourselves to assess higher than the test is, right? Because if you can beat the higher assessment, then who cares? The test is easy, right? But if you assess lower than the test is, then you're like, oh, if you just barely passed the assessment, you're definitely not going to pass the test if it's more difficult, right? So go on NHK and pick out 10 newspaper articles, give them a read. If you struggle with it, you're probably not ready for N1. If it's a breeze, you're probably ready for N1, right? And pick ones that you're not familiar with, topics that you're not familiar with, you have no idea about. Don't pick ones you're familiar with, and don't pick weather. Pick like a submarine went missing, you know? A submarine went missing off the coast of wherever, and this like government official is saying this about it. Like, those are the newspaper articles you're going to see, or like at least that type of language in the N1 test. I haven't read a newspaper in like 6 months, and it was NHK Easy. Yeah. NHK Easy is easy. So yeah, NHK Easy is not going to be nearly the same language as that. So don't do easy this time. Do NHK normal, just normal NHK. And then you should be able to judge if you can pass N1 from that or not. Also, there are practice tests. So like if you want to try, you can look up, like there's official JLPT mock tests. So go give the N2 a shot, see how you do, and then go give the N1 a shot and see how you do. And I think you may notice a difference if you were anything like me back when I was between those phases. So yeah. Let's get through the last of these reviews. I've been talking about. It's a good conversation though. Like, these are really great questions. So yeah, definitely ask me more if you have more questions. I absolutely love this conversation.
さっきからコソコソ何見てんの?
It's like my favorite stuff to talk about.
頭持ち上げますね。うわ、靴下穴開いてる。
うわ、
靴下穴開いてる。
時々口から変な白い玉が出てくる。
Gross. I hate that sentence. I hate that sentence. I'm actually archiving that sentence. I can't do it. I hate that
単語
sentence.
どうやって勉強してる?
単語をどうやって
All right. いらっしゃいま
いらっしゃい
せ。
ませ。3名様ですか？
後からもう2人行きます。
かしこまりました。お好きな席へどうぞ。
Huh. I can say that. Huh. And here's the other thing, and this is something that's actually hilarious, is this N2, N1 debate, right? And how it doesn't have an actual effect on fluency. I have had the N1 for like 2 years now, I think. Almost. We're coming up on 2 years. Because I passed it just under 4 years, and now I'm coming up on 6 years. I hiccuped. Whew. I hiccuped. So I'm coming up on 6 years. So I've had the N1 for 2 years. And like, I would never have thought to say this. 後からもう2人来ます. I would never have thought to say this to a server. I'd be like, yeah, 5人です. I don't know, 5 people. And then hope that they understand, oh yeah, well obviously they'll understand 2 people more coming. So it's like, yeah, I can still get along fine. But there's these random fluency things. They don't test for this in the JLPT, right? So it's like, it's not a real measure of fluency. It's a somewhat accurate kind of measure of comprehension, but like comprehension if you're playing something that's written grammatically correctly, which speakers don't write speakers won't speak grammatically correctly, and sometimes they won't write it if they're like texting. If you're reading a newspaper, it's nice and clean. But yeah, that's that. All right, boom. NHK Easy. is greater than N1 because of how boring it is. Like I can read a novel, but I just can't with the news. Yeah, I feel that. But the thing with a novel, novels make sense. Novels like I'd say if you want to bust into a novel that can assist you in getting to N1, one that I know of is ReZero. ReZero has a lot of extremely advanced grammar in it. So if you know the grammar in ReZero, then you're probably maybe okay. But that being said, it doesn't have the terms that that the JLPT N1 will have. Like I'm learning new terms all the time that are completely useless outside of ReZero at the current moment, or very rarely useful outside of ReZero. So you can use ReZero if you want to read a novel, and that will help. But the most effective way to pass N1 that I've noticed, and from my personal experience, is read one article of newspaper a day and break it down and figure it out. And that's it. You only have to do one a day. It's not too much. Like a paragraph. If it hurts you, do a paragraph of a newspaper article a day. You can, but I feel like most efficient would be article and just have the article like no more than 3 paragraphs. If it's too long, click off, do another one. But like having a minimum of, I feel like a newspaper is the best. Like my grind to N1, I don't think many students would find it very fun, but it's what I did and it's what I can recommend as something that worked. But it's also going to be tough on motivation for many people, I feel like, because I literally read a dry grammar book. No, not a grammar book. I read a dictionary. I read 10 pages of a dictionary a day. I read a newspaper article a day. And then I made a bunch of flashcards a day, and then I read some other native material a day. I forget what it was. Was it the newspaper? Maybe it was only the newspaper. But it was dry and boring, and there were days where it sucked for me. I'm just going to be honest. It was like studying for a normal test instead of a Japanese test for me, right? I love studying for Japanese tests. Let me rephrase that. I love studying Japanese that allows me to pass a test. But like, oh yeah, that's weird. It went weird on my thing. But was it a dictionary of level Japanese grammar? Yes, it is. Yeah, a dictionary of beginner Japanese grammar, a dictionary of intermediate Japanese grammar, a dictionary of advanced Japanese grammar. Those are the books that I read. I've read the intermediate and advanced twice because I'm crazy. I was going to suggest ReZero for the book club, but I changed my mind since Isa thought it would be a bad idea. Yeah, no. ReZero is an advanced book club. It is not intermediate in the slightest. I would never want the intermediate people reading that. I would actively shut that down. If ReZero got voted for the intermediate book club, I would step in and be like, no, that's not a thing. You're not doing that. Because ReZero, I had passed N1. I've been past N1 for a year or two now. Or I've been past for 2 years. ReZero is still too tough for me sometimes, especially at the start. I literally took like 3 years to start reading ReZero because I would start it and get so lost, it would demotivate me and I couldn't continue reading it. So it took me a very long time past N1 to be able to even break into ReZero. So no. ReZero is not fit for intermediate. I do love this series, but it is not fit for intermediate. I went to order beginner and intermediate last night and then ordered advanced because I'm a completionist. Hey, yeah, gives you some motivation. Yeah, read like a couple pages a day or something. Or look it up. I don't know. I think normal people use it as a reference tool. Crazy people, if you're like me, use it as like just read through it. And it's good. It's a good series. It's got the normal pitfalls though of a dictionary. It's got the perfect grammar. Like you're not gonna have a dictionary without perfect grammar. So first off, you're not knowing how people actually are gonna be speaking. So that's a problem. You don't have context. There's no context. Boom. There's no audio. It has the normal pitfalls of a dictionary, but it is definitely a good reference tool. But I thought N1 is intermediate. N1 is advanced. No, so N3, N4 are beginner. N5 sorry, N5 and 4, N5 and 4 are beginner, N3 and 2 are intermediate, N1 is advanced. That's about how it is. And N3 I still would say like is beginner intermediate, right? So N1 is not intermediate. N1 is like you're kind of, you've done all the grammar. You know all the grammar of the language basically. So, yeah, it's not intermediate at all. It's very weird. It's a very weird grammar pile of grammar. So, all right. I think it might be time for more Sumire. I kind of talked a lot today, so I don't have too much time for Sumire. We could just keep talking. And maybe I'll play Sumire like tomorrow or something. If I have a brain tomorrow to actively be streaming tomorrow. But yeah. Yeah, let's hop into Sumire. I've been excited for Sumire. So let's hop into Sumire actually. But definitely let me know if you have questions about anything I've said, because I've said a lot today. But I think it's all really, hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully all of that was helpful, because that's all been my personal experience with everything. So I've lived through it. I've studied a lot of it, or all of it. And yeah, that's, I don't know. But yeah, up to N2, you can be pretty chill with it. And like that's another thing is we're hoping to change with Native Shark is like you don't actually have to go crazy like I did to get through N1. Once we have Native Shark out and there's the core stuff, you'll be able to pass N1 with while still just pressing the study now button, and it won't be this mind-numbing experience that it was for me at points. I thought you said N1 is intermediate because you only need to know like 10k words to pass, but you need around 30 to be fluent. Would it be safe to say that your path to N2 is the exception versus the norm? It's like you slid into that with ease. All right, well, let me answer the first question. So I thought N1 is intermediate because you only need to know 10k words to pass, but you need to know 30k to be fluent. I think you need 30k to be like near native. So what does fluent mean? What does fluent mean? I think that's really the main problem here, or the main definition issue here, is what's fluent? Fluent means nothing. Fluent doesn't mean anything. Near native? Okay, maybe you need 30k to be near native, yeah. And you only need maybe 10k to pass N1. But here's the thing, is people don't study, or maybe people do, but I feel like people shouldn't study for like tests, because like whatever language you find in your life is language that's helpful to you. So like you might know a word that's in between those 10 and 30k after the N1 way before you know one of those first 1 to 10k needed to pass the N1, right? And I don't know if it's actually 10k words to pass. I have no idea how many words it is. But I'm just going with your numbers and they sound about right. But like, right? So like for me, when I passed the N2, I could tell you all about going back in time to kill a zombie dragon that's about to destroy the world. I could say that in Japanese perfectly fine. If you ask me to take out the trash, I have no idea. You ask me, can you take out the trash? Can I what? Do what with the huh? Right? So like I had very, very weird gaps in my vocabulary, but that's because I played video games and I didn't live life in Japanese. I played video games in Japanese. That's how I learned it. Right? So it's hard to say, oh, you need this many words to pass and you need this many words to be fluent / near native / whatever your goals are. It's not that cut and dry. Like, I don't know how many words I know, but would I consider myself fluent? Yeah, I think so. And I think any of my friends would consider me fluent too. But like fluent still doesn't mean anything. Like I'm not near native, but I'm fluent. But I wasn't fluent when I passed N1. Or maybe I was because I could read everything. Like I didn't struggle in video games anymore. So is that fluent? I don't know. What's your goals? Do you want to be able to make friends in a bar? You don't need N1 to do that. You don't even need to read to do that. Reading is obviously extremely important and it helps, but you don't even need to read to do that. There are many advanced English speakers at my work who are nowhere near native. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can be nuts at the language, but not be near native. So being nuts at the language, that's fluent, right? But nuts in what way, right? Would you call me fluent? I couldn't speak to people. I couldn't hear people when they spoke to me, but I could get through a video game without looking anything up. Is that fluent? That's what I was at N1, right? And there's people who can speak and listen super well, but they can't read. Are they fluent? Right? They can convey technical concepts efficiently, but definitely not near native. Yeah. For people who are nowhere near, yeah. I feel like that's kind of where I'm at. I can get people to understand me, but sometimes it's not very pretty. So like, I'm not near native yet, sadly. So I'll keep working towards that. I guess I consider fluent to be a level where you won't run into any problems with the language. And still, that's a slippery definition. That's a hard to understand definition, right? Because what does that mean? If I start speaking to you in English so I used to be an optician, I could tell you all these technical terms about glasses, and you wouldn't understand me maybe, right? Like, or you could tell me whatever field you work in, or whatever field, I don't know, some specialty that you know about. You could tell me about that. I wouldn't understand you. But we're both fluent. We're natives. We're both natives, right? So what does that mean, right? So it's like there's always topics that any speaker of any language, no matter if they're native or not native, are not going to know about, and they're going to have to learn. So, but they're still fluent, and they're still native, right? So it's hard to say. So like, I can run into something in Japanese, and it's fine. But also, like, if we get to specialized fields or whatever, then even natives don't know about that. So is that a problem with the language, right? Would we consider that a problem with the language? Then natives aren't fluent, if that is, right? I should change it to any problems in daily life. Okay, yeah, that's better, I think. And then it depends on what is someone's daily life? What is someone's daily life? Can someone play video games easily? Can someone go play I don't know, Fire Emblem easily? I've heard natives complain about the language in Fire Emblem because it's kind of bonkers. Natives complain about the language in Final Fantasy 14 because it's kind of bonkers. But if they play Final Fantasy 14 every day, are they fluent? Right? Someone else doesn't play Final Fantasy 14 every day but has the same level of language. Are they fluent? I know I'm being difficult. Kind of. I understand that I'm kind of being difficult right now. But fluency isn't something easy to define because everyone's daily life is different, right? So everyone's daily life is different. So that still doesn't give us a solid definition of fluency, because fluency is just something that cannot be defined. Fluency is whatever it means to you, right? N3 would be good enough to get you in day-to-day stuff according to the test definition. JLPT is not just an accurate definition. Like, it's not a definer of how good you are. It's kind of okay for how much you can comprehend and read, but the listening is not really that great because everything is perfect. It's textbook. It's all textbook. There's no actual natural Japanese there. So that's why when I could pass N1, I still couldn't hear Chie talk to me in normal Japanese, right? Even though I could hear N1 level Japanese that was perfectly, grammatically perfect, pronounced perfectly, even a little bit slow. But no one speaks like that, right? So, in theory, N3 should be enough to get you by day to day. In practice, that is definitely not the case. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, though. It's not always. Daily life defined by the life of an average native speaker. I mean, that's still hard to define. What is an average native speaker? Like, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But still, there's a lot of different people in different lives, right? With different lives. But yeah, N1 is advanced, and like there's like after you pass N1, there's not terribly too much grammar to learn. There's still grammar to learn depending on what type of thing you're doing, right? Like if you start busting into old Japanese or like games or whatever, books with really old Japanese, obviously you're gonna have a lot more to learn. But as far as effectively, I guess average native speaker would need to know, then N1 is like the precipice of that. Is like you passed, you've learned the N1 grammar and everything before it, then you're completely functional, right? But I don't know. It's slippery to define language. Like I don't know how many words I know in English. I don't know how many words I know in Japanese. You know? I don't know. And then like just the words, because you know words doesn't necessarily mean you'll be fluent, because if you can't use the grammar to tie those words together, then you're not going to be fluent with them, right? And that's what my problem was with the N1. When I had the N1, it's like I had those words. I knew what was up. I knew how to say words, but I didn't know how to say things. I didn't know how to say sentences. And as far as the other question, would it be safe to say my path to N2 is the exception versus the norm? It's like I slid into that with ease. I think there aren't many people who have done the same thing that I have, so maybe you could say I'm an exception, but I think it's because of my study method and my laid back attitude about it that got me here. So that's why I'm so excited. That's why I'm like always trying to share my mindsets with people, because whenever people listen to my mindset, I usually get oh wow, yeah, you're right, or like something like that, or like wow, that's really helpful. So that's why I'm so excited to share it, because a lot of people have gotten a lot of use out of it, and it's something that I got from Nico originally, and then I've like taken and evolved it into my own little kind of mindset too, and understanding. So yeah. Who is the best Japanese speaker that you know who is not half Japanese or a native speaker? Nico. Nico. Yeah. Definitely Nico. Who else? I mean, there's other really, really good speakers. I mean, you find a lot of good speakers on like YouTube and stuff too. It's like Dogen is a really good speaker. But I think Dogen's reading ability might be not quite as good as like Nico or mine, maybe. I'm not sure, because I don't know. I don't personally know Dogen, so I can't say. I can't say. But I have heard he has told like his YouTube audience, and I'm part of that, that he has he struggles with like newspapers and stuff, which is like the N1 stuff. So I don't know if he just struggles with comprehending it or reading it or what. So I can't really say. But personally, that I know personally, Nico. Dogen speaking is really killer though. Who is not? Yeah, okay. So Dasha is really good. Dasha. I don't know if I know Dasha. Who's Dasha? Do I know Dasha? 1 second. Are they on YouTube? Oh, hey, you didn't get slapped by Nightbot for posting that link. All right. Dasha. Oh, okay. I shall watch this person off stream because I don't want to just watch YouTube videos on. Oh, Matt versus Japan. Yeah, Matt versus Japan is really good at speaking too. I want to hear more of Matt versus. I haven't seen too many of his videos, so I can't say for sure. But I have seen a couple things and it was pretty good. I think the person, like if I don't actually know them, the best at speaking is probably Dogen. But Dogen, in a lot of his stuff, he'll do multiple takes and he'll make it perfect, so it's speaking. And he writes scripts and stuff. His freeform Japanese is not as good as his scripted Japanese, obviously, right? Because he does like so many takes for just even his short clips. But it's still like extremely good. Like it's better than mine, I'd say. Like my freeform Japanese, I still stumble a lot, but I don't know how much he stumbles because I haven't seen him do it enough, you know? But yeah, Matt vs. Japan, Dogen, Dasha probably pretty good too. Like I don't know Dasha, so. But yeah. But I also feel like there's not like meh. Comparing is like meh. I don't care about comparing. Like there's just like do it at the pace you want to do it, you know? If you can spend a half hour a day, if you can spend an hour a day, if you can however long you want to spend. Like it doesn't matter how long you want to spend, or like, you know, it doesn't matter where someone else is compared to you. Like if you want to get advice from them and you respect their level, then their advice is probably going to be helpful to you. Not necessarily, right? But like that's why if you're taking advice from me, you should listen to me and how my Japanese is and decide, is this a good person to take advice from, right? How did they learn Japanese? Do I want my Japanese to be like theirs? Is their mindset good? Like think about these things. Like don't take advice from me just because I'm me, right? Like listen to my Japanese, see if you think it's good, right? Ask other people if it's good, and should I take advice from this guy, right? Like you always have to be thinking about that. So, and sometimes it's hard to especially if you're like a beginner, it's hard to tell if someone's Japanese is actually really good or not, because you don't have an ear for the accent, you don't have an ear for naturalness. It's just how things are. So that's why, like, if you know a native friend, ask them, right? About any person you take advice from. Only take advice from people who are at the level you want to be at. Yeah, basically. I think you can sometimes take advice from people who aren't quite at that level yet, but are clearly on the way too. I think is also sometimes okay. But I think as a baseline, a rule of thumb, safety, just to be safe, take advice from people who are at the level you want to be at. Yeah. I actually think Dasha is better than Matt versus Japan, but that's just me. Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited to watch her. I don't want to watch her on stream, but I'll watch her off stream, and then we can talk about it like next stream or whatever. Yeah, I'm actually excited because I haven't found any new YouTube Japanese content creators, so I'm kind of excited to find yeah. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Oh man, this is one of those times, you know, where it's like, you know, I wish we had YouTube mods, and then I could just really say like, oh yeah, ban that guy, right? But, you know, that's how life be sometimes. Sometimes it's just not how it be. So, yeah. But yeah, new YouTube content creators I'm pretty amped about. So, I'm excited to see that. Wait, I can't even wait. It doesn't even show in chat. Ah, whatever. Oh wait. What? Ah. Oh, here we are. All right. But yeah, I think that's basically everything, right? So, do we want to do like a half-hour Sumire? Let's just do a half-hour Sumire, I guess. I don't know. Let's do a half-hour Sumire because I wanted to play, but we got distracted by a great conversation. I like these conversations though, so it's all good. All right, so let's see. Here we are. And let me pause this music and get to the right screen. Not that screen, this screen. All right, boom. Ah, and there's that. Oh, I was playing Rune Factory 5. Rune Factory 5 is so good. Definitely harder than Sumire though. All right, and now let's change our game. Edit your game. Sumire. Ooh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can update stuff. Okay. 完了する。終了する。All right. Let's play some Sumire. Ugh. Sitting in a chair for an extended period of time can be kind of rough sometimes. I love this game. Suzuki Kara. All right. We're picking up. So we found a flower, and we're in this like weird dream something's up world. Oh, it might be really loud, actually. Let me fix that, sorry. There. Right? Yeah, making sure. How's the music? How's the volume? Is this an okay volume, or should I turn it down a little bit more? Here, I turned it down to there. All right, let me know how this volume is. And let's hop into this game. So, そんで、町へ行くんだよね。Alright, so we're going to the town. 町は神社の西だけど、崖の降りるのは無理だと思う。Oh, okay, so there's a there's a cliff. Do you know how to fix an unbalanced vocabulary? Like, I know so many above N1 words, but I don't know a lot of N2 words. Go do native materials. Just do native materials. Just figure out a bunch of stuff. Yeah, just go read books or go do something that you want to do. And that is the way to do it. Eventually, as you keep going, you will learn new words and new words and new words, and eventually it'll just fill in. So, yeah. Just go try a bunch of different stuff. All right, let's go. Like, do your core studies, do your... Oh, hi, frog. Do your core studies and then just, like, play some games or read some books or talk to some people, and it'll all fill in eventually. Wow, すっごい handsome さん. You're really handsome. 白馬の王子様をお探しかい? Are you looking for your prince on the white horse? そういう気はなくて. No, that's not. だよね。君は若いし、恋してるけど. Oh yeah, you're young and in love? Wait, what? それはどうだろう? Oh, I wonder. これからするよ. We will from here on out. 知ってる? この森には君のおばあちゃんの力が宿っているけど. So, did you know that your grandma's like power, strength, is yadoteiru in this forest? Like, yadoteiru is like residing in this forest. So mitai da ne. Seems like it, huh? ばあちゃんが、枝とか土とかに触れたら鳥とか虫とかが集まってきたけど. Oh, okay. So where your おばあちゃん? Okay, so for people who are new to this game, so we just started playing yesterday, so we're still on the very start. We found this flower. So our Oba-chan, our grandma, she's passed away, and we found this like magical flower who's only going to be here for a day, and they're helping us to speak with our Oba-chan because we saw in a dream she was trying to communicate with us, but we couldn't hear what she was saying. So we're trying to kind of fix everything, right? And our mom is really bummed out, and our dad left. So everything is just terrible right now, and we're trying to fix it. So now we see that our Oba-chan, who we're searching for, we're trying to talk to, she leaves all this like power and like stuff like that. So birds and bugs will gather the stuff that she's touched. Mushi toka, mushi, bugs. So, oira mushi ga daisuki nan da kedo. Kero is like ribbit. So he's just saying kero at the end of every sentence basically. So he loves bugs. Otsuyu ga daku. Daku no oishii. Hai, maybe that's like a crunch, I don't know. Omotte kita kuretara shikari o rei wa suru kedo yo. Alright. Sakashite miru. Alright, let's go find him some sort of bug, some sort of fly. Hae. Chinamini, shinsen tore. Okay, so he likes fresh. Kero. Floppy. Kero. Hae janatatte ii kero yo. Oh, it doesn't have to be a fly, it just has to be fresh. Nanda, boom. Okay, so something boom, that's still like buzzing. Okay. What time is it right now? I want to know what time it is right now, because I want to make sure we can go back to that Kakashi. ちっちゃくて可愛い神社だね。心のこと? chisana, so hokora, like the hokora, Sanrio character, Kitty-chan's friend. Wait, I don't know if actually. Oh, Kitty-chan is Hello Kitty. I don't know enough about Hello Kitty to be honest. I just don't know. 小さな霊を祀る場所でそこ Okay. お花の神様いるのもういる Alright, so there's like all sorts of spirits, and he's like, oh, are even flower spirits here? Oh, maybe not. そういう神様がいたら人気者になると思う If there was a kami-sama, a god like that, then I think he would be really popular. Yeah. I know you would be slightly biased, but do you think starting Native Shark at my level would be worth it? I just want to fill in any gaps because Native Shark will go to N1, and maybe it would be worth in the long run. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a bias. I literally worked there. But I can tell you, personally speaking. Here, let me pause this. I can tell you, personally speaking, I have gone through phase 1 and I have learned to be a better speaker because of it, a more natural speaker because of it. So while you may not learn new words and new grammar, you may get some fresher or some nice little tidbits in phase 1, something you might not have known. You will definitely learn how to speak more natural. And if that's important to you, and I believe it would be, then I think you should give it a shot. And most of it will be review in phase 1. And in phase 2, I have learned probably at least one thing every phase 2 lesson. Like something that I didn't know, or I definitely could have used a refresher on because I had almost completely forgotten. So yeah, I think it would be worth it for you. And then if you want to just slam through phase 1, you can do 2 units a day, get through that quickly, maybe archive a bunch of flashcards and do that, and then not worry about too much after that. And then once you hit phase 2, maybe do 1 unit a day and just take it easy. And then just as Native Shark keeps progressing, then we'll obviously get more towards the N1 stuff, and that will be extremely helpful. And N3 to N1, like as you get like phase 2 and on, I think will be helpful for anyone of any level. I'm just going to be completely honest. Like I've noticed there's been gaps that I've filled in with this phase 2 stuff so far. And yeah, just naturalness is huge because many people don't say sentences that are natural as learners because that's just like not how our brains are designed to work with as English speakers. So seeing good natural sentences in a learning resource and where we actually are breaking them down and actually looking at them is extremely helpful versus if we look in a grammar resource like a dictionary, that's something that's perfect. We don't see natural sentences. We don't know the context. The sentences are usually kind of like all kind of the same, right? Like you don't get like reaction sentences or crazy sentences like you would in Native Shark. That can still, you would probably still run into in real life, right? So it's like studying using real life to prep for real life instead of studying using a book to prep for real life, right? So that's my opinion on it. So I'd say take what you want about that. That's my opinion. It has been extremely helpful to me, and I believe it would be helpful to anyone, even if they're past N1. As it was for me. すっかり忘れてた。お？この山ってすごく急で歩いての降り。Alright, we can't walk down this mountain. Is there something at the bottom? Oh, it's the town. Okay, but we can't go down here. Okay. Oh, we can hold on. We can hold on to him. Yo, we're on a journey. Yo. まだ戻れないよ. Oh, we can't go back yet? What? 何やったの? What did you do? 俺なら後でいいよ. If you want to thank me, then, you know. どうしよう。きっとママ困っちゃう. I'm sure mom will be like really... Is that the first time the flower was actually useful? It was. Yeah. I think he grew enough where he can actually use his vines. Because like he made us walk across the river. And then he started like powering up. So I think he's getting more powerful. What if we could never stop him? What if by the end of the day he gets so powerful and then everything just goes to terrible bad? Yo, I'm going to get this game on Steam. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Get it. And then use it to study Japanese because it's actually like fantastic for that. Like what I've noticed so far. Flower becomes Demon Lord. I'm waiting for it. All right, how do we go? Chanto kaeru yo. Oh, we can go back just later. All right, let's go walk around the town. All right. Sakura Bungu. A stationery shop. Yo, I love this music. I think it's only $20 score. Yeah, it was 15 on the Japanese the Switch. It was $15, so I think if you want to get it on the Switch, it might be cheaper. I don't know. Ah, Sumire-chan. Ah, konnichiwa, oba-san. お店見ていく? はい。お店のペンってすごく可愛い. All the pens in the shop are really cute. ありがとう。うちみたいなお店は、もろかもろからもろからないもろからない I wanna say that's もろから。もろから。Nope. It's not. Wait, how do you read that? How do you read that? It's like Moro, except it's got the hito at the other side of it. All right, fine. We'll do radical. I don't feel like busting my phone out right now. 1, 2 strokes, 2 strokes. 1. And then we have U, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think. Here we are. U. There we are. Moke. Ah! It's moke. Mokaru. Mokaru. Right? Mokaranai. Ah, that's the word. Mokaranai. I'm actually sad. Oh well. But yeah, see, that's a good thing. Like, you can learn, you can review words that you kind of knew, you did know, but you maybe forgot the reading of. That's why I like video games too. Mokaranai kedo nantoka yatteru. Well, you don't really make a lot, but we're keeping afloat. Soda, Oba-chan. Oba-chan no koto shitemasu ka? Oh, do you know about? Yeah, もちろんみんな, everyone knows. おばあちゃんに呼ばれたんです。町にいる友達の頼みを聞いてほしいって。I was told by おばあちゃん that I should listen to everyone's like wishes and stuff and like requests. そうなの？どういう頼みかしら? What kind of request is that? そのお友達は大好きな人に伝えたいことがあるんだって昔言ってました。So she said there was something I need to tell like my beloved friend. あら、じゃあきっと人違いね。あ、人、偉いね。偉い？違い？ That's 違いね。人違い? I'm gonna take a screenshot and we'll come back to that later. そうですか? Oh, someone else? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, someone else. So you missaw. けどそうね、ちょっとお使いを頼んでいいかしら? Oh, can I send you on an errand? 何ですか? うちの人に荷物を届けほしいの。お茶おじさんの。Okay, so we want to... Oh. お茶おじさん? The tea old man? Alright, so we have to go deliver something to the tea old man. And 公園の方でしたっけ? So was that over by the park? あ、私ったらそうだったわね。あ、me, silly old me. Oh, right. そこへはもう行きたくないわよね。Oh, you don't really want to go over there, do you? No, I'm okay. I'm okay. 平気です、大丈夫。あ、よかったわ。この便箋セットをうちの人に届けてくれない? So can you go deliver this to the person? My person, うちの人. So like her household, kind of. Probably her household. おばさんには大切なものなの. It's really important to me. I could say やだ. You'd be like, no, I don't wanna. Yeah, I'll go deliver it. ただね、次のバスは夕方まで来ないの. Okay, so we'll have to... Oh, okay. だから急いで向かわなくて. Okay, so we don't have to hurry. So we can maybe ride on a bus or something. 時間ならまだたっぷりあるわ. 覚えてきます. I'm worried about that scarecrow. If we let that scarecrow down, what's going to happen? What happens if we fail people? Because he's got, like... So we need to save a scarecrow by noon. By midday. Ooh, really cool pens, but I don't know if I want to buy any yet because I don't know what it's really used for. Inkan. Inkan. When you're in Japan, you got to get yourself an inkan. これはハンコ。いろんなものに名前を押せるの。パパはよく私へのメモに自分のハンコを押してた。So, yeah. So you use this to stamp your name on stuff. And she says that her dad used to put his hanko on notes to her. Bubblegum. No, bubblegum. Look, American brain going. Gacha. Gacha gacha da. Ocha wa 5類ある. Or what, I don't know. I didn't read that last word. 1回コインは1枚だって。やろうよ. Let's do some gacha. I'm down for some gacha. Because when you twist it, it goes gacha gacha gacha. So it's a gacha machine. お、人気バンドのロゴだ。かっこいい。Yay. I'm pretty into that. That's cool. Clothing. Oh, can we get new clothes? 友達? あら、すみれ。Oh, すみれ。こんにちは。It's Chie! Chie! Yo, this is our friend that we had a fight with. We have to make up with them. Yo, alright. Let me get some tea for this. I need some tea for this. This is like popcorn. Orange tea? Orange Earl Grey. We have orange Earl Grey. I think that's what we go for. Nodo kawaita. My throat's dry. I need tea. I need tea in the morning. Oh, I need stretching in the morning. Yo, this music is bop though. Who else is bopping to this music? Going to deliver tea to a creepy old man. Yeah, right. Please don't be sad. Please don't be sad. No, let's hope. I don't know. She's making a facial expression that I'm not really. Neither of them are really actually making that happy facial expression. その頭の花ってまだつけてたの? You still have that flower on your head? 気に入ってるの? それがどうした? どうかした? Is there something wrong with that? Oh, I like it. I'm gonna say I like it. 気に入ってるの? この花気に入ってるし. I like it. それって今時すっごくダサいわ. Ah, she's being mean. ダサい is like lame. It looks super lame. She's calling us lame. そういうの気にしないし. I don't really care about that. 良くない流れだね. This isn't going well. とにかくお誕生会はどうだったの? How was your like birthday party, I guess? 寂しかったな. It was lonely. それは残念ね. Ah, bummer, huh? あのね、さっきヨーロッパ旅行から帰ったの. Oh, I just got back from Europe. パパに新しい洋服を買ってもらって、海がすごく綺麗で。I got new clothes from my dad, and the sea was really pretty. Stupid question. Do you know how to stop your parents and friends from making fun of you because you are learning Japanese? I feel like there's an unfair stereotype around people who are interested in Japan. I could talk hours on that topic. Because I experienced the same thing. And yeah, I didn't have too much support when I first started learning Japanese. And it was only once I was clearly on my way to fluency and like starting to be fluent and actually like really impressing people by the time that anyone actually took me seriously about it. And that's just kind of how it is. Because they don't think they can do it themselves, so they shut you down for it. That's kind of just how life is, right? If they wouldn't try it, then why are you trying it, right? So you just have to realize that that's probably the stance that many people are coming from. And there's also just a stereotype on the internet of like, oh, if you're learning Japanese, you're a weeb or something, right? It's like, that's you have any idea how many people learn Japanese that don't watch anime or don't play manga or play whatever, don't read manga? Like, that's just the internet. That's just the internet. And that's just people who are taking what you're doing as their own life. And that's just kind of how you just have to deal with it, I guess. Like, I'm sorry. That's just part of the stereo of like how people will react to it. And you just, I didn't tell people I learned Japanese. I usually don't tell people I learned Japanese when I was starting, because I was just like, I did tell people, like, once I got to know them a little bit, but I tried to avoid it. But still, many people were positive. So you have to remember, there's people who are going to be impressed that you're trying. And there's people who aren't going to be impressed that you're trying. And try not to focus too much on a negative, right? I just go with it. Yeah, you just have to, yeah, same thing. I think same thing happens. Everyone's going to have that experience. But you just have to realize that I think a lot of the times they're not trying to be inherently mean. They're just not, they don't understand. So they're not sure how to treat you, so they just make jokes about it instead. Because when something's awkward, what's the best way to solve it? Humor, right? So yeah, I don't tell anyone, but I go boarding school, so it's hard to keep it a secret. Oh yeah, well, I mean, hey, sometimes that's just life. I wish I had a better answer for you, but come to the community. You're in the community, so it's like, we all know how you feel. So let's do it together and let's encourage each other together. So at least if you don't have a space in your life with people physically around you, then you can at least have a space with life that you're connecting to over here. So I just hope that we as a community can make you feel a little bit better about it, because you are doing great. If you're thinking about like taking the N2 and all this stuff, and you were asking so many good questions earlier, you're doing great. All right, so don't let anyone tell you otherwise, okay? So what's the Weeb version for Korean learners who listen to K-pop? I don't know if this is offensive or not, but like, I've heard the phrase K-pop stans, but I don't know if that's like good or bad, or if it's just a thing. I don't know enough about anything K-pop to say for sure. So if someone could tell me, that would actually be great. But I don't know. I generally avoid knowing lots of offensive things because I don't try to be offensive all the time. You know? Alright. 旅行って人を成長させるの. Yeah, thank you for the support, Tony. It means a lot. Yeah, I hope, even if it helps a little bit, I hope it helps. But yeah. You know, that's what I did, right? When I was learning Japanese, I didn't really get that much support until people saw that I was actually taking it seriously, like 2 years down the road. Until I basically had a certificate that said I was good at Japanese and I passed N2 in my hands, no one took me seriously. Or not many people took me seriously. And like, I have no clue. Yeah, I don't know how to describe stance. Is it positive? Is it negative? I think it's just someone who's like really passionate, right? Yeah, passionate. I guess. I don't know. I think it's neutral. I don't know. But yeah. That's like the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing right now on Native Shark is because I experienced these things. And I fell in love with the Native Shark community way back when. So like, yeah. That's why I'm here. So I hope I can just provide the experience that I had when I was learning and how much I loved the community and all this stuff. So I'm just hoping that I can help provide that still to this day for everyone. All right, so 旅って人を成長させるの. So trips make you really grow. よかったね. Oh, that's good, huh? Right? ... 最近はもうケンジと遊んでないですって。残念ね. Dude, Chia's being a jerk. So you're not playing with Kenji anymore, huh? What a shame. It's fine. Who cares? 別に。ね、ケンジの友達の友達の棒って知ってるの？の棒? Bowl? I guess Bowl's a name. Maybe? あんまり not really. ケンジと仲がいいんだけど so they're good friends, but 本当に役立たずじゃない? Isn't he just useless? Yo, Chie! Bowl のことはよく知らないし I don't know Bowl. 分かってるくせに言えなさいよ. Say it like... Okay, say it like you know what I'm talking about. ... 言いなさい、Sumire. ごめん、そんなこと言えない。Nah, I'm not dealing with you. ごめん、ボーっていい子っぽいし。 Bo seems like a good kid. あなたよりはずっとね。more than you. Much more than you. あ、たくましいこと。Oh, wow, you're so brawny. Yo! 私のこと気になって仕方がないんでしょ? So, you're just like, you really, really are obsessed with me. You can't help it, huh? 気にしたこともない。I've never cared about you. Well, you were my friend. Now, do we act... Now, do we tell her that we're hurt? Or do we be like, nah, get out of here? No wonder this girl, they're not friends. This girl's plain rude. She's super rude, yeah. Downloading the game is... Hell yeah. Yeah, this is a good game. I love this game so far. I absolutely love it. Alright, so Kishite... what do we say here? Well, you were my friend. Or, I don't really give a damn, basically. I'm gonna say you were my friend. Alright, so here's the thing. If you're stubborn... Yeah, I agree, Rebecca. If you're stubborn about it, you're never gonna make up. Someone's gotta open up. Right? If someone's hurt... Can you stand IRMD? Oh, we have two people. If someone's hurt, and you wanted to actually be friends with Chie, someone's gotta be vulnerable. Someone's gotta allow themselves to be hurt, and let someone else be hurt. Or like, let someone give them the option to be hurt. I'd go with the top, but both work. Like right now, Chia is being really mean. But she was our friend, and maybe she will be our friend. Maybe she's actually nice, and she's hurt for whatever reason. And she's trying to hurt other people. So let's just say, you were my friend. I'm gonna go with... もちろん、Chiaとは友人だったし、I was friends with you. What are you? Alright. I tried. Oh, she's like, yeah, don't... You make me laugh, huh? とにかく私はもう行くね。Anyway, I'm out of here. あ、そう。おばあちゃんのこと残念だったわね。I'm sorry to hear about your grandma, huh? It was a bummer. すごく素敵なおばあ様だった。She was a really great grandma. おばあちゃんのこと好きだったの? Oh, you liked her? Yeah, she's got a complicated home life. Yeah, honestly, who knows what her life is like? Who knows what her life is like? それじゃあね。もし、素敵になりたい、なら、ママのお店を見ていくといいわよ。So, if you want like to become really great, come visit my mom's shop. まだ話したいことがあるんだけど、I just saw something I want to talk about. あら、ごめんなさい。友達に会う約束があるから。I have promises to meet a friend, so sorry. 私たちも友達だったよね。We were friends too, weren't we? 残念だけど、時間って、切られて、なんだっけ。Wait, why can't, there it is. 限られてるから。Sorry, my time's pretty limited. 楽しいことがしたいの。こんなにつまらない会話じゃなくてね。チエ no! Dude! Oh my god. 楽しいことがしたいの。So I want to do something fun, not this boring conversation. でも、いつか、but someday, いつかそうね。いつかあなたも自分に正直になる日が来るわ。何もかも、楽になるわよ。Everything will be a lot easier once you're like honest with yourself. 無理かしら。だって、スミレはスミレだもの。Maybe that's impossible for you. I mean, you're Sumire after all. Bye. ほらね、無理だよ。仲直りするなんて。Look, we can't be friends again. Like, I tried. It's impossible. どういうこと? What does that mean? Dude, 見てたでしょ? ピンクのヘルメット。ピンクのベルトでドレスを、着た冷たい目で。So, just describing her. 友人だったんだよね。You were friends? Yeah. She was my best friend. But I don't get it now. It's just like, これで絶好かも。So like now we just might have to not talk anymore or whatnot. それでいいの? Are you okay with that? そんなの自分でもわからないよ。Well, I don't even know myself. じゃあ目閉じて。Then close your eyes. 思い出して。千代はまだ、right, remember when she was still your friend. よ、きっと優しかった。やっぱり嫌い。いつもじゃないけど。I don't like her. But not all the time. 仲直りしたいって思ったことは Did you think you wanted to make up with her? I wonder. すごく嫌なことされたから。You know, she's been really mean to me. And even though I used to love her so much. Ooh, a memory. Kenji, I'll answer your question in a second. Wait, oh, we're actually okay. Well, I guess I'll answer your question now then. なんでそんなに冷たい態度なの? I don't know. Like that's weird. But no, you're good. You're good. Questions. I like these questions. Should I worry about pitch accent? I don't want to end up like George from Japanese from Zero and not be able to hear pitch accent. Oh yeah, I remember seeing those videos flying around recently. Yeah, I watched Matt's response about it. I love this game, by the way. This is so pretty. I watched Matt's response about it, and I agree with Matt. Because that's basically what I did. Like, I went through Dogen's pitch accent course once. I never rewatched a video, and now I feel like I can do it relatively fine, but I still make mistakes because I'm just not. I still have Japanese left to learn. But I guess like, as long as you know pitch accent exists, you can do like shadow loops and like kind of go through and just re-listen and shadow and practice saying it yourself to make it match, and then the rules will cement. And yeah, so should you go crazy and not studying it? No. Should you study it? Probably, right? If we say the word university, that's got stress accent in English, so it's something we're used to hearing, like university, right? We don't say university, we say university, right? University, not university, right, is wrong. University is right? But we can't say university. That sounds weird too. University, right? So when we mess up pitch accent, it's like we're saying university or university. It makes sense. It still works. You can hear it, and everyone can comprehend that we're still saying university. Is it perfect? No, it's not. So that's really. So do you want to have your accent be easier? Do you want to make everyone listening to you have an easier time hearing you? Then learn pitch accent and pay attention to it. You should pay attention to it, I think. But should you stress and learn every little grammatical structure, or right, not grammatical, but every little structure and every little rule and every tiny, and should you always be trying to have perfect pitch accent when you're speaking? No, you should not. Because that's going to stress you out and then you might quit. But I found learning pitch accent really fun. So I enjoyed it. So I did it. That's basically, yeah. Learn some basics and then just pay attention when you listen to and hear new words and try to mimic them. And you'll be all right. Right? That's really it. Don't stress. 小さい頃は知恵と日が暮れるまで遊んでた. So when we were young, we played with Chia all the time, like until sunset. パパとママの前で私が作ったお芝生をお披露目したり。芝生? No, that's not it. Shiba. It's play. That's the word for play. Shiba. It's not shibafu. Shibafu is like lawn. Yeah. It's not. Oh, play. That's the word for play. Shibai. Shibai. Oshibai. So they would act in front of their parents. Shibai o hirome, like show off, したり. 知恵と出会ってから私の人生は変わったの. So since I met Chie, my life had changed. 大切な親友だった. She was an important best friend. たった一人の my only. Yo, I love this. 知恵のおかげで何もかもが新しく感じられた. So thanks to Chie, everything felt new to me. けど全部変わっていく. 友達もそう but everything changes. Even friends. 新しいものが古いものをI keep reading that to as wo because it goes like in. So if I'm reading quick. 新しいものが古いものと入れ替わっていくの. So new things come and replace old things. Yo. This game is... I'm gonna freaking cry, dude, from this game. Mama? おばあちゃんが死んじゃった。Yeah. おばあちゃんが死んじゃった。あと、私の誕生日が来て。So, my grandma died and then my birthday came along. ママはいいからお誕生日会をしなさいって言った。So, my mom came over and she said, have a birthday party. みんなを招待したけど、一人も来なかった。I invited everyone, but nobody came. 知恵が私に黙って自分の家にお友達を呼んだから。Dude, Chia invited everyone to her house instead. What? Dude, this game is brutal. Poor Sumire. 友達をなくして辛いよね。It's hard to lose a friend. でもどうする？ What do you do though? また一緒に過ごしたい？それとももう知恵なんて嫌い？ Yeah, right? What? Or alright, do you want to spend time with her a friend or do you or again or do you just are you sick of her? どういうこと？ What do you mean? 仲直りするのか仕返しするのか？仕返し？ Not happy music right now, huh? Yeah, 仕返す。仕返す。Is that? Nope, nope. 使える返す I'm not showing this on screen, am I? Just to take revenge or retaliate? Or just... Okay, so 仕返す So do you want to make up with her or do you want to get back at her? Or just kind of like be done? どっちにしても今日解決しなきゃ Whichever you do, you have to 書いちゃったからね Because we wrote it down, so we have to Yeah, we have to do it. We have to do it. 君のノートにさどうしたい What do you want to do? We wrote it in your notebook, so we have to do it. まだわかんないよ I don't know yet. Yo. Slightly off topic, but I really wish there was a Japanese version of Doki Doki Literature Club. Is it not translated? I swear it's translated. It's definitely translated. I feel like I've seen people playing it. New clothes? There's a clothes shop. Oh, hi. This is definitely Chia's mom. Oh, hey, you're a rare customer. Chia no tomodachi. You're friends with Chia, right? Yeah. Watashi no kawaii... My cute little angel? Yeah. I was at least. Before, you were. Kawaii Tenshi-chan to tomodachi deshita. I was friends with your cute little angel. Oh, okay. So... Well, then you go home too. She just left. もうムードが悪いけど、もうムード、こうもムードが悪いと、他のお客さん、Oh, if your mood's this bad, so it'll be tough for other people to, but there was something I wanted to buy. 私では力になれないと思う。I don't think I can help you. 男の子たちのハートをシャドめるかな？髪飾りならあるわ。Alright, so there's to like kind of make to shoot like an arrow through a guy's heart. Shadomeru, I think. Let's look it up. Let's look it up just to be sure, but it should be Shadomeru and like to kind of Cupid, right? Shadomeru. I was wrong. Idomeru. No! Alright. Tomeru. This is why I look. Itomeru. Oh, I was so close to all these. Itomeru. To win someone's heart, basically. To win someone's heart, we have cute little hair accessories and stuff. Because that's, yeah. 男の子のことがわかるんですか? You understand, guys? 私のかわいいみつためガールちゃんがみつためガールちゃん I have no idea what that means. みつ That's not ためみつ豆みつ豆 Mitsumame. Fruit, pieces, and syrup. Alright, so just food. Sweet thing. Well, alright. Actually, here's a great thing. So we don't know what this looks like, right? So we go to Google. And we go to images. And now we know what it looks like. This is Mitsumame. So, just a sweet food term. Machi no idol. Everyone knows she's the idol of the town. Yeah, perfect. そしたら少し見ていくけど急いでね. Alright, well, you want to look then? Well, hurry then. Alright, what's the small one? Oh, yeah, there was a small one. すごくおしゃれ。サイズ似合いそう。友達に来るんです。すごい絵柄の。Okay. All right. So we'll get. Oh, we're broke though. Shisai Hanten. I like this blue flower. Bichi no hana. Oh, that's a Sumire. That's one. I think. We're broke. We need more money. Later, Ty. All right. I'll see you later, Thomas. So I'll talk about it. Oh wait, I already read that one. Wait, actually, I think I also have to run. All right, let's pause it for here. We didn't get too far in this game today, so I apologize for that. But we did talk a lot about a lot of Japanese stuff, so I think hopefully the stream was still helpful. So yeah, thank you everyone for stopping in. I might be playing this tomorrow if I have a brain after I do a lot of stuff tomorrow. So we'll see. If I have some time tomorrow and if I have the brain left to do it, I will be streaming just this. We won't be studying, so I'll be streaming just this. Maybe I'll do it on Sunday as well. So maybe expect one of those days. We'll see. But yeah, it's a really cool game, so definitely recommend it. Yeah, Remedy, play it tomorrow. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, but nice talking to everyone. And yeah, either follow for a notification, or if you're in the Discord, you can. We have a little thing that gives you a tag, then I send notifications out when that happens too. So cool. I will see everyone next time we're playing. So if not tomorrow or the next day, I'll at least see everyone next week, and we'll be hopping back into this too. So yeah, お疲れ様です. I shall see everyone